So for today's video, we're going to be diving into a few interesting pieces of information, from new details for Spider-Man Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2, and a possible hint to when the PlayStation 5 will finally release. First, let me know if you see the PS5 releasing in November or December. I know there have been a lot of people saying October, but I've always said I don't personally see that, but I'm curious what your guesses are. So comment below if you see the PlayStation 5 releasing in November or December. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man Miles Morales details. Let's first dive into the Spider-Man Miles Morales details, the content that has been released yesterday from Sony. So, last week we had Sony reveal the existence of the game Miles Morales, having his own game coming to the PlayStation 5 this holiday. But after the announcement and the PlayStation 5 reveal show ended, talk began to swirl around the internet that this game was a DLC or a remaster with an expansion, etc. This confusion occurred because of a Sony VP and his statements, but this was later rectified by Insomniac Games themselves, and they set the record straight that this is in fact a standalone game. We got some new information afterwards from Jason Schreier, confirming this game's size to be similar to that of Uncharted Lost Legacy, and now we have Insomniac Games back with more details on the scope of the game, the time it takes place, among other items. So let's dive into all of the content they've provided. The game takes place in the winter, a year after the first game. There's a war between an energy corporation and a high-tech criminal army, and your home of Harlem is in the middle of the whole situation. The game's scope is similar to Uncharted Lost Legacy, which clocks it in at about 7 to 16 hours, depending on how much of the game you want to complete. The game will feature near-instant loading times, ray tracing, 3D audio capabilities, and will take advantage of the DualSense controller. So, in terms of the DualSense controller, I expect things like being able to feel the snow with the haptic feedback and feel the intensity of swinging around the city with the adaptive triggers, things along those lines. They've also updated the engine for this new game, stating the following: "We've upgraded our characters with 4D scans and improved skin shading for more realistic looking characters and spline-based hair that moves far more naturally. Many of the city's assets have also been updated to take advantage of the new console. As you experience Miles' story, you'll see, hear, and feel things in a whole new way, all thanks to the PlayStation 5. So, some very interesting stuff. The game will have a different look and feel unique to Miles' own game, which is awesome to hear. They've also confirmed what the Sony VP said, that this game runs on an updated Insomniac engine, or the game's been updated, something along those lines, taking advantage of the PS5's capabilities. And Sony is clearly pushing their games to use 3D audio, ray tracing, near instant loading times, and the DualSense controller, hitting basically every major feature they have been promoting, and I'm ready for all of that. The instant loading times and 3D audio have to be on top of that list for me anyways, but the part I know people will focus on is the price of this game. It's now been confirmed to be a smaller game, so anything more than $40 might upset people, so we'll see on that part. But you guys let me know if you think Spider-Man Miles Morales will be more than $40, or will it be $40? Let me know down in the comments below. Now diving into the second part of the first story, Spider-Man 2. I personally thought we'd never see Spider-Man 2 at the PS5 reveal, and I guess I was right, because the next full-fledged game is still on its way according to Insomniac Games. Here's the statement from the official PlayStation blog. "Oh, and one last thing. Many of you fans have wondered if Peter Parker is okay. Don't worry, we still have much of Peter's story left to tell, but this game is all about Miles, a critical part of our Spider-Man universe, and you won't want to miss what happens." So the part I love about this statement is the Spider-Man universe aspect. It hints to a larger universe, but I could be getting ahead of myself here, thinking about the cinematic universe, where Sony is trying to build this whole universe with Spider-Man characters, from Venom to Spider-Man, and who else is going to come after that officially. Either way, I'm ready for Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2 whenever that comes. And now diving into the final story of the video, the PS5's release date being possibly hinted. I personally have been saying the release date for the PlayStation 5 is most likely in November. I've seen people mention October, but I didn't personally see that happening. And now we've possibly gotten a hint to the release date week of the PlayStation 5 thanks to Cyberpunk 2077. So, CD Projekt Red announced yesterday that they will be delaying Cyberpunk from September 17th to November 19th. And when I first heard of this, I straight thought about them pushing this as a next-gen game now, because that is definitely around the time when next-gen consoles will be releasing. And I wasn't alone. A lot of other people in the industry have also agreed that this is possibly close to the release date of either one or both of the next-gen consoles. So let's take a bit of a history walk for PlayStation. The PlayStation 4 released on November 15th, 2013, a Friday. The PlayStation 3 released on November 17th, 2006, a Friday. And this November 19th is a Thursday, so I wouldn't be shocked if the PlayStation 5 drops on that Friday, the 20th of November. But you guys let me know if you think the PlayStation 5 is releasing on November 20th or another date. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button as it always helps. And subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with "Release the power of PlayStation." Sony, we need a release date. I want to know when this thing comes out. If you do as well, destroy the comment section with "Release the power of PlayStation," and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now, I'll check you guys out on the next one.